G'day, I'm Helen, an Australian chef. This is my final day of the 12 days of Christmas. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Tonight I am going to show you how to make apple strudel. Technically not a Christmas dish, but it's for my son and he happens to be all the way from Japan tonight, so I'm going to cook it for him. So what we need: 6 apples. You can do this with canned apples, but I'm choosing to show you how to do it with fresh apples tonight. A cup of sultanas, a cup of dried breadcrumbs or a cup of panko crumbs, a cup of white sugar, 125 grams of melted butter, a little bit of lemon juice, either from the bottle or from fresh lemons, and some cinnamon. Also, of course, the main ingredient being filo pastry. Okay, now I'm just going to show you how to chop the apples. We're going to quarter them, and then you're going to take the core out and simply slice them in quarter and put them in your pot. Okay, as you can see, they're all ready to cook now. We're going to put them in the pot. We're going to turn this on to a medium heat. Now in the pot, we're also going to add some sugar. So probably just over a tablespoon of sugar, just to give it a little bit of sweetness. A sprinkle of cinnamon. A little bit of lemon juice to stop the apples going brown. And we're going to put enough water not to cover the apple, just to cover the bottom of the pan to simply stop them from burning. We're going to, really they're going to sort of half steam. Stirring them. Now put the lid on and let that simmer until they're nearly cooked, which should take approximately 5 minutes. As you can see, that's cooking really nicely. Starting to get a little bit soft, but not quite soft enough. You do not want to have it cooked completely because it's still going to bake in the oven, therefore it's going to be too soggy. So you just want to have it probably al dente, which is a tiny bit hard still. But as the steam, you can see the steam is full on, so we're going to put the lid on and that will help it cook. Okay, that's been cooking for approximately 5 minutes. We probably need that to cook just a little bit longer because the pot is actually bigger than the one I've used earlier, which makes a little bit of a difference. As you can see, the apple is still a little bit crunchy, and it will continue to cook once you take it off the heat. So I'm going to now take that off the heat, turn it off. Now I'm going to put it in a bowl ready for it to cool down. When you're taking it out of the pot, try and make sure there's no liquid left, because you don't want your mixture to be very liquidy because it'll make for a soggy strudel. There we go. Okay, here's some apple that I had prepared earlier, so this is lovely temperature now. We're going to finish the filling off by simply adding a cup of sultanas and some of the sugar, approximately half of that sugar, because the rest we're going to use in the wrapping, and a touch more cinnamon. There we go, that's beautifully moist all together. Okay, that's ready to be rolled now. Okay, for this next step, I'm going to be showing you how I make the layers a little bit extra crispy. So I'm going to combine a cup of breadcrumbs with the rest of the sugar. So we combine it nicely there. I'm just simply doing that because it mixes a lot easier. You might not need as much as this, but have it there just in case you do. We're going to sprinkle that on in between each layer. Okay, so that's ready to go. Now, as I said in a previous video, you've got to be very careful when handling filo pastry. So I always have a piece of baking paper where I start to wrap the layers. So open up your filo, and we want 6 layers. I always prefer to use the filo that you buy from the fridge, not the one that you buy from frozen. The frozen never seems to be up to scratch. Okay, then we got 1 sheet of filo. Place it down on the baking paper. Now we're going to liberally brush each sheet with butter. And in between we're going to sprinkle some of the breadcrumb and sugar mixture. This gives it that extra bit of crunch. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the sheets. 6 in total. Exactly the same in between each layer. Okay, this is the final layer now. So do exactly the same. Brush each layer. Make this layer a little bit more butter, because this is the one where the apple is going to touch. So you want to go nice to the edges. Once again, sprinkle the breadcrumbs and sugar. Now we're going to place all of this in the centre of the filo. So you've got that in the centre. You're now going to wrap the filo, the strudel. So just slowly bring the other half over, keep it folded in the edge, roll to the end, and then on the end just tuck it in on the bottom, tuck it in on the bottom here, and now we're going to place it on our tray. Place it on a baking tray lined with baking paper, and very carefully pick the strudel up and place it in on an angle because it is quite big. This will serve approximately 6 to 8 people. There you go. Now the final layer on top. We're putting butter on just to finish it. I've got my oven preheated at 180 degrees. As you can see, unfortunately there was a bit of a split in the filo, when I put it on, but that still doesn't make a difference because that can be included in the cut. Then we're going to sprinkle a last bit of these, the breadcrumb mixture on top. And a final sprinkle of sugar, and a final sprinkle of cinnamon, which I'm now going to rub in slightly. There you go. Now I'm going to put that in the oven. That should take approximately 15 minutes until it's golden brown. There you go, that's my apple strudel. For a nice touch, we will sprinkle it with some icing sugar. Beautiful. There we go, I'm going to cut you a slice tonight. I like to cut it on an angle normally, but because I had that tiny split in the middle, I'm just going to cut it straight. This is served beautifully with either ice cream or cream. Okay, there you go, that's my apple strudel. I hope you enjoyed watching my 12 days of Christmas. Happy New Year to everybody. If you'd like me to cook anything other than what I've cooked for you, please leave me a suggestion, that'd be absolutely wonderful. And if you've got a comment also about what I've cooked, any comments or any feedback is well appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Have a go.